Wow, do we have a lot on the docket tonight? Do we have a lot on the docket tonight? Okay, it's the Bad Boys LA review, season 1, episode 8. Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to Damien After Dark. You know what to do. If you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button so you can be up to date when I post new content. And if you haven't already, check out the Jocelyn's Cabaret Reunion Part 1 review that I did. It's up on my channel right now. If you're a Jocelyn's Cabaret fan, go ahead and hit that button and check that review out. So we're just going to dive right into this episode, which I thought was a really good episode. It started off a little slow, but we got into some action, and we're going to get into that. The bad boys are having a house party, and, you know, things go left at the house party. We'll get into all that. But first and foremost, the episode starts out with Dylan, Kion, and Gutta outside, just shooting the shit, you know, talking and hanging out. And as I've told y'all before, Dylan, baby, Dylan, you better watch out because you got another thing coming. Y'all know Dylan has not been my favorite. He's actually been my least favorite throughout this entire series. And this reunion that's coming up, when they shoot the reunion, I fear for Dylan's life. Because Dylan is what you call a confessional gangster. You know, usually people will talk shit in their confessionals and they really don't say a lot in scenes. But Dylan is the king of being a confessional gangster, because if y'all notice in the beginning of the episode, Dylan is talking about Jonathan Wright, the replacement, and just talking all kinds of crazy cash money shit about Jonathan. And I'm like, do you not see Jonathan? I know y'all saw, which we're going to get into later, how Jonathan dog walked, oh boy, later in the episode. Like, I'm sure Dylan is shaking in his boots right now, if he hasn't already gotten in touch with Jonathan and apologized for what he said, because he was just talking a lot of shit in his confessionals. But they're outside. He's wearing this bonnet. He looks a mess, of course, as always. I'm not gonna go too hard in on Dylan because I've already gave him enough shit. But baby, you better watch your back at that reunion, Dylan. And I don't want to hear no victim shit. You better not run. You better not cry. Holler for Natalie. Threaten to call the police. So y'all white folks like to do. But also, Dylan's confessional. Y'all noticed his shirt? Drip. No cap. Hustle. Oh, y'all know how I feel about clothes like that. We won't get into it because I've said it before. But God, somebody get that boy a stylist. He cannot dress for nothing. So they talk about the house party that they're having. And Dylan, he gives gays a bad name, in my opinion. Dylan is the type of gay that he's the reason why people think that we're messy, that you know, we're dramatic, we're over the top, we're too much. Dylan, you are the poster child for that. So thanks a lot, because you make it hard for gay men like me. Curtis and Mo are excited about this house party because they're going to have some women there. They're so glad because they're not going to be around gay men. So finally, they're going to get some women in the house. And I'm just like, I really like Curtis when he's not with Mo. I think all of us like Curtis when he's not with Mo. He's just not so, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not so trying to look masculine. You know what I'm saying? Rel comes in the room, you know, he's talking to Curtis and Mo, and it feels like Mo is actually coming around a little bit. I liked the exchange between Curtis and Mo and Rel. I really feel like the boys are starting to let their guard down a little bit, the straight men at least. They're letting their guard down a little bit. They're getting comfortable with the boys. Curtis has already been getting comfortable with everyone, but especially Mo. We know how homophobic Mo came off in the beginning, but I really feel like now he's starting to just get used to everybody and realize that, look, these boys are not trying to fuck you. These boys do not want you. So you can just breathe a little bit, chill, fall back, And like I told y'all in earlier reviews, I really feel like by the end of the season, we will really like Curtis and Mo. I really feel like they needed this social experiment. They needed to do this experience to help them grow as people. Because it's 2022, gay people are here, we're not going anywhere, and y'all just gonna have to get used to that. And it seems like they are. Um, so they're having this party, and I'm not gonna lie. They're setting up for the party. It looks like it'd be a really lit party. I was watching, I was like, ooh, I wish I was there. You know, they got food, they got the drinks, they got hookah, they're even setting up stages for strippers. It looks like a really good time. Rail approaches Carry On, who's outside. Carry On's outside getting a bonfire set up. And Rail approaches Carry On about, talking to Milan. He says, yo, we're going to have this party tonight. I think you and Milan should talk out your differences and hash it out. Carry On's like, bring him over here. Let's do it. Milan comes over. They talk. They hash out their differences. And I was actually glad to see that. I'm like, wow, two grown men having a conversation. Yes, the drama is interesting and entertaining, and the fighting is entertaining. But it is nice to see two men come together, squash their differences, and just get along. And Milan, you really can't afford to be having all these enemies anyway. So I think it was a good move for Milan anyway. You already got Jonathan on your ass. All the other boys pretty much don't like you, even though they don't tell you to your face, Milan. They don't really like you. Also, Carry On, I'm glad you squashed this out with Milan. But my thing is, when you two got into it, you said that Milan touched you. You said Milan touched you inappropriately, and I think you said that he wanted to suck your dick or something like that. Now, I'm not saying I don't believe you, Carry On, because in previous reviews, I said I believed it 100% that I think Milan tried to hook up with Carry On. However, are we just forgetting about that? What's tea? Like, we need to get more answers. And I hope at the reunion, whoever hosts the reunion, I hope y'all ask the right questions and y'all bring that up. So, Carry On, you and Milan made up, but did Milan try to really sleep with you? Did he really try to hit on you? We need to know those answers, because Carry On kind of, he squashed things with Milan, but I just feel like if somebody violates you in that way, in the way that Carry On said, where I believe he said that Milan either touched him or flirted with him or tried to suck his dick, something like that. Y'all remind me in the comments. I just don't think people get over that so quickly. Unless Carry On made it up. But I just don't think he made it up. I don't know. Chime in below. Y'all let me know. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that Carry On made that up about Milan flirting with him or trying to get with him or whatever the case may be? So they're having this party. They're setting up this party, getting ready for it. And I guess an hour or two into the party, there's not many people there. And Mo, Curtis, and Milan are like, what the fuck? This party is dead. We need more people. We need more people. And this is supposed to be Anthony's party. And I was kind of confused by it. I'm like, Anthony, aren't you a party promoter? Because you should be getting the people here. So Milan calls up his people, or he posts something on Instagram, and that gets a lot of people there. Now, I don't know if it was all Milan. Milan wants to take credit for getting all those people there, but I have a feeling, especially my experience working in reality TV, I feel like that was a producer thing. I feel like the producers probably were like, let's get some people over here. Natalie probably called up some people. I feel like Milan probably had something to do with it, but I don't think you were responsible for everybody showing up, Milan. Let's be real. Did the producers help, or was that all you? So they get the party popping, and lo and behold, who walks in the room? William, the motherfucking saddest. William is back. Y'all remember William, the only other white boy. He shows up, and at first I'm like, okay, William's back. We'll give him a second chance. Let's see what he's got to say. He shows up, and Anthony's pissed. And at first I'm like, Anthony, why are you mad that he's here? But apparently when William left, him and Anthony were getting into it on social media back and forth. So Anthony had a problem with William, and then he had a problem with him showing up because this is supposed to be Anthony's party. So he's like, why the fuck is William the baddest here? This is my party. Me and you have been arguing. Why are you here? I can kind of understand his frustration. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, the party was dead anyway. The more the merrier. So let William come on in. So I have to apologize to Anthony, okay? I have to apologize to Anthony because last week's review, when it came to the teaser, when it came to the teaser for this week's episode, they make it look like Anthony just runs up and punches Anthony runs up and punches William out of nowhere. And I gave Anthony a lot of flack for that online and in my review. I'm like, Anthony, you ain't punched nobody the whole season. And then the weakest one in the whole group shows up, William the baddest. Y'all know William can't fight. He shows up, and then the way they had it edited, it just looks like that Anthony goes after him. However, plot twist, I was shocked when I was watching the episode. Fucking William the baddest runs up on Anthony out of nowhere. I was shocked, y'all. I was shocked. But then I had to sit for a moment and I had to dissect it. And I'm like, okay, this here is either one of two things. Either A, William the baddest left the house. When he left, he was probably upset with himself. When he got home and his emotions calmed down, because y'all remember William left episodes ago when him and Mo got into it. When Mo was saying that he was twerking on him, William left. I bet when William got home and he let the emotions get down, he was probably like, damn, why did I leave the show? Like, this was such a good opportunity. I shouldn't have left the fucking show over something like that. So he probably wanted to get back on the show, and he probably wanted to get back and, you know, do what the rest of the boys are doing. Take advantage of this opportunity. How many times are you going to get to live in a mansion in LA for free for the summer and be on a TV show? Not many, right? So William's like, let me get back into the fold. And then my other theory is that he got back, or when he called the producers and wanted to come back, I think the producers were probably like, okay, well, we want you to start some shit. You and Anthony have a problem. We want you to run up on Anthony. Now, I'm not saying it's true, but some producers are known to be messy and do things like that. And actually, I've heard before that Zeus is known for that. One of the girls from Jocelyn's Cabaret said that the producer, Lemmy, the CEO, told one of them to fight, flip a table, you know, those sorts of things. So after I heard that, I was looking at this episode differently. Like, okay, maybe William the baddest just didn't come in and swing out of nowhere. Maybe he was told to do that. However, you don't have to do what a producer says. You don't have to be a producer puppet unless that was the only way they were going to let him back in on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because I could kind of see, like, if I was a producer and William wanted to come back after he had already left and we booked him plane tickets and shit to get back home, I would probably be like, okay, you want to come back on the show? You got to make it worth our while. Stir some shit up. When you come back, we want you to get into a fight. We want you to whatever, you know? I could see it. So, and two, if you think about it, William is not a fighter. He is not a fighter. So I was just kind of stunned that he just ran up on Anthony out of nowhere. And according to Anthony, and from what we've seen, Anthony had intentions of talking to William and hashing things out, apologizing, and getting on with the party, right? But that wouldn't have made for good TV, would it? It wouldn't have made for good TV for these two boys to be like, you know what, I'm sorry, let's hash it out, let's have a good time, we're here to party. In real life, that's what most of us would do. We would talk it out, hey, I apologize, man, I'm sorry. But I don't know. Do y'all think producers put William up to that? Or do y'all think that was really all William? If that was all William, you're an idiot, William. You're an idiot because you look stupid. So he runs up on Anthony. First of all, William, you cannot fight for nothing. How you gonna run up on somebody and do that? Like, really? I need you to go get. I'm not even a fighter, y'all. Like, I don't fight like that. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I will if I have to. I will fight if I have to. But you can best believe if I get into a motherfucking fight, I'm not going. Like, you fighting like a bitch, William. Come on. You're supposed to be a bad boy. Bad boys don't fight like that. So you run up on Anthony, windmilling, and Anthony doesn't seem like he's the best fighter in my opinion either, but he still handed it to William. He still got a few licks in, and then he pushed your ass in the pool. And now you soaked, looking a hot ass mess. I was just like, oh my God, I was embarrassed for this boy. Not only did you come in swinging, you should have came in swinging and prepared. You're at a full house party. You're at this big party full of people. Natalie's there. There's some influencers and some other people there. Cameramen are everywhere. You looked stupid, William. You looked pathetic. Like, that was your moment to come back in and redeem yourself. You could have redeemed yourself by apologizing, squashing it, and moving on. Or if you were going to fight, you could have came in guns blazing and whooped some ass. But you didn't do that. You didn't do that, William. And let's keep it going. So I got in my notes, William is so thirsty. Oh my God, he is. He's just so thirsty. He just wanted to come back and get some more camera time. This is all you'll ever be known as, William. I hate to break it to you, but you're forever going to be known as that white boy on Bad Boys Club who couldn't fight and who got his ass beat twice. And maybe you didn't get your ass beat, but you got your ass handed to you twice. And Rail told you that. And y'all remember in the episode when Rail was like, this is the second time you done got your ass whooped. And he was like, no, this is my first time. No, remember when night one when Rail was drunk and he put his hands on you too? It's the two white boys on this show make us look so fucking bad. That William and Dylan, y'all are just like Natalie, Zeus, whoever casted, of all the white boys y'all chose them two. Hey, y'all could have called me. Y'all could have called me. I mean, shit. I know I'm mixed, but hell, I look white. Y'all could have called me, and I could have gave y'all a way better show than that. I could have done way better than what these two thirsty stunt queen bottoms are doing. So Anthony gives like a bullshit excuse to Milan. So Milan pulls Anthony aside and he's like, yo, why did you do that? Like, what's going on, William? And I don't know what exactly, not Anthony, William, I'm sorry. William gives Milan a bullshit excuse as to why he did it. He was like, I don't even remember what his excuse was, but it was just all over the place. Like, he was like, oh, I was gonna be on the show, and Anthony congratulated me about being on the show, and then he screenshotted it, and then he showed it to the CEO, and then he tried to get me off of the show, and I'm just like, what? You're pulling this out of your ass, dude, and you look so fucking pathetic. It's unreal. And then Milan, you're sitting here defending William to his face, and you're like, oh, you did the right thing. You're a bad boy. You know, at least you came back and I don't even remember what Milan said, but he was just telling William what he wanted to hear. And I'm just over Milan at this point. Like, I really am. And I think y'all know that. I've made that clear in past reviews. Like, what? You're hyping this man up for what? You should have been stone cold honest with him, Milan. And you should have been like, William, that was fucked up that you came here and did that. You're lucky I don't whoop your ass right now. You're lucky that you're weak and you're not a fighter, or I would beat your ass right now. Like, I would have been straight up real with William. Like, why the fuck did you come to our party starting shit? I would have been 100. How Gutta was is how I would have been. Gutta was about ready to whoop William's ass. Now, I wouldn't have tried to fight William because obviously he's weak and he can't fight. And I feel like when you pick on people who can't fight, you're a weak bitch yourself. However, I would have been like gutta and pissed. Like, what the fuck you coming to our party for? Stirring up shit, dude. Like, you're a has-been. You left the show because you couldn't take it. Go back to where you fucking came from. I'm Team Anthony when it comes to the Anthony and William fight. Y'all know I was on Anthony's ass last week based on the edit that Zeus put out. But Anthony has been vindicated all along. Like, I'm on his side. I really am. I'm over William and his pasty ass. So, another thing I noticed William said, he was like, talking about Anthony, he said, this is your first time on TV. I've been on show after show after show. What show have you been on besides Catfish? And hell, anybody can get on Catfish. Go make a fake fucking account, message somebody, go make a fake Facebook account, message somebody, bam, we can get on Catfish that easy. You act like you've been on all these different reality shows. Somebody help me. Maybe I don't know the other shows that William the Saddest has been on, but I'm like, you act like you Natalie Nunn. You know, Natalie's been on lots of reality shows. I could see if she said that, but William, we don't even know who you are. And apparently you're a rapper, but your music is terrible. I listened to it and it was garbage. Like, you need a reality check, William. William's problem is he has no self-awareness about what's going on. He really doesn't. So literally, William gets in the car and goes home. And I'm like, you literally showed up to get your ass whooped and get thrown in the pool. William literally showed up to get his ass whooped and thrown in the pool. That's the way you want to be remembered? You're always going to be remembered as that season 1 hot mess, thirsty stunt queen, doing too much. I'm already over him. Like, he was so thirsty for fame, and it was so obvious that he's thirsty for fame because he came back to the show and it backfired big time. It backfired. So where are we at? Oh, shout out to Sheik. Those who know Sheik and his little fine ass, he was on the episode last night as well. He's like an influencer. I noticed a few gay guys that I follow on Instagram who were at the party on the episode last night. So shout out to them. You can tell that they really needed people to come to that party, because like, I knew a lot of people at that party. I'm like, oh, there's Sheik, there's so-and-so, there's so-and-so. Like, they literally were probably scrambling to get people to come to that party. And it wouldn't have been hard to get, folks. Y'all had to do was promote it a week or two prior. Put up a flyer on Instagram, Bad Boys LA, filming for a house party. We need 20 to 30 to 40 gay guys and women to come be background extras. That's all y'all had to do. Like, it's so unprofessional. Did y'all also peep when William was there? He said he had fucked up knees. That was one of the excuses he gave as to why he couldn't really fight or whatever. He's like, I got fucked up knees. Boy, bye. I'm over here asleep. I'm snoozing on your ass. Like, we ain't, no. So when William leaves, Rio shows up. Do y'all remember Rio? I thought Rio was fine. I still think Rio is cute until he took his glasses off. Then he looked like he was a little bit older than what I thought, which is not a problem, but he just, like, no shade, Rio, but you looked a little bit like a little used and abused, and like you've been ridden hard and yeah, like on drugs. I don't know, not on drugs, but he just looked rough. That's a good word to use it. Rio looked like he's been roughed up a little bit, but he's still sexy at the same time. So Rio, for those who don't know, that is Milan's friend. Milan called Rio last week when Jonathan came in the house and Milan got scared. Milan went outside and called Rio, his best friend, to come over to the house because pretty much Milan needs backup. He didn't really say that, but let's be real. Milan needs backup. He's scared of Jonathan because Jonathan is a very big, over-the-top, abrasive personality. And Milan is used to being the over-the-top, abrasive personality. So now that they've got a new big personality in the house, Milan's over here like this. It is so obvious that Milan is scared of Jonathan. Don't y'all know that? Can't y'all tell? It's so obvious. So he invites Rio. Rio comes over to the house. And then Natalie and Jonathan show up at the house, to the house as well. And then Jonathan goes straight up to Milan's room and starts unpacking his things. Now, if y'all remember last week's episode, when Jonathan first came into the house, he asked everybody, like, where's my room? And y'all know the rooming situation in the bad boy's house. Not everybody got a room. Just about everybody did, but 2 people had to share. So Jonathan went and found Milan's room, and Milan was not happy with that. He was like, I don't want to share my room with you. So Milan goes upstairs, and he's like, yo, what's going on? What are you doing, Jonathan? And Jonathan's like, I'm unpacking. This is my room. And who was the one that said that's the fat boy who does hair? Was that Dylan? I feel like that was Dylan that said that, the fat boy who does hair. Because Jonathan's going to eat your ass up at the reunion. You know he is. I don't know who said that. I got that in my notes, but I didn't put who said it. Anyway, Milan says he's not sharing with Jonathan. He says, I'm sharing this room with Rio. Now, do y'all remember last week what Milan said? Did y'all peep what Milan said last week? He said, I'm not sharing a room with nobody unless I'm fucking them. So, Milan, you told on yourself and Rio. You and Rio must be fucking because you said it yourself. You don't share a room with anybody unless you're fucking them. And then this episode, you say that you and Rio are going to be sharing a room, and that's why Jonathan can't sleep in there. So, do you and Rio have like a little something going on? Which is fine. I just hope y'all would talk about it. Because what I'm getting from Milan and Rio is like, they're trying to be like DL, down low bros or something, And it's obvious y'all got a thing going on. Like, come on, can we be real about that? See, these are the things that I want to see more of on the show that I wish the producers would explore. Why didn't y'all ask Milan and Rio about their relationship? Obviously something more is going on there. They're not just friends, or maybe they are friends, but they're definitely friends who fuck. Let's just be real. Because the way that Rio is standing up for Milan and all that, yeah, it's giving lovers. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay, so Rio wants all the smoke with Jonathan, and I think he's gonna regret that. So we get to the end of the episode, right? And baby, it's getting hot, y'all. I'm sorry, but the end of this episode was, my mouth was watering. Like I gasped. I literally messaged my best friend Taylor, who watches this show with me. I was like, bitch, you gotta turn on Bad Boys LA right now. You got to turn on Bad Boys LA right now. So, Jonathan, Milan, and Rio are in the bedroom. Milan's like, this is my room. You're not, this is mine and Rio's room. And Jonathan's like, no, this is my room now. And Rio's like, it ain't. Rio starts taking his clothes off, and all of a sudden he lunges at Jonathan. And baby, this was the highlight of the season, okay? Y'all saw it. Jonathan Wright is not to be fucked with, okay? Because when I saw Jonathan like thrashed that motherfucker. All I saw was Rio's head like hit the back. Like, Jonathan literally was like... Like, it was like, I was scared for Rio. When I was watching that shit, I was scared for Rio. I'm like, ooh, oh my God. Like Rio, I'm gonna be real. You fucked with the wrong one. Now, we're 8 episodes in. We've seen what, 3, 4 fights this season, and nobody can fight. Let's just be real. Everybody's just been hugging on one another. Maybe get one hit here, but Jonathan got them hands, baby. Jonathan's got them hands. I would never fuck with Jonathan Wright in real life, okay? And this is the thing. I have to give Jonathan this because he wasn't fucking with y'all either. Yes, he came to claim the room like Big Bubba in prison. That's what it reminded me of. Jonathan reminded me of like the guy in prison who is like, give me your food. He was like, give me your room. I'm taking this room. I do think Milan could have compromised with him because last week's episode, Jonathan was like, we can share the room, dude. Like, let's just share the room. He was trying to compromise with him, but Milan wasn't having it because of his ego. But y'all fucked with the wrong one because Jonathan put them paws on Rio. Now, of course, we cut and it says next on Bad Boys LA. We get it to be continued. Of course, I get it, Zeus. You got to give us something to make us watch next episode. But, like, y'all messed with the wrong one. And then next week, y'all see the preview for next week? I could not believe the way this man was dog walking Rio. And it gets so bad that the police and ambulance show up. Like, I really think, y'all, that Jonathan did some severe damage to Rio. And then y'all saw the confessional. Jonathan has got Rio's hair. He's got his braids in during the confessional. So he beat this boy's ass, pulled his hair out, and then wore his hair into the confessional. I was like, oh my God. Look, Jonathan has only been on 2 episodes, and he's been more entertaining than the entire season. I gotta give it to him. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Jonathan is a great reality star. He's funny. He's entertaining. He brought the heat. Jonathan is what you call a bad boy, okay? And Rio, you laid the first punch. You asked for that ass whooping. Like, he dog walked you. He dog walked you, baby. I just gotta be real. And then if y'all notice in the preview for next week, like, there's a girl in the background who literally runs out of frame. Like, she is terrified for her life, as she should be. I would have been scared too if I look up and Jonathan's big ass is just whoop, 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 all on somebody. Like, Rio, I'm worried for Rio's safety. And then we see in the preview for next week how Milan is outside talking to the police. This is what I'm talking about. This shit's done got to a dangerous level. No, Milan. Now you ain't gonna play pussy punk, are you? This whole season you've been Billy Badass, King of LA, the baddest of the baddest. You should have been there for your friend. You should have been there for your friend. If you saw he was getting his ass whooped, why didn't you step in and help him? That's just me. If I saw my friend getting his ass whooped, I'm going to help. Now, if I see my friend getting his ass whooped by Jonathan Wright, I don't know if I'm going to jump in with my fist, but I'm going to pick up something and try to knock his ass out. Because Jonathan, that boy, I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I'm still gagging from last night's episode and the way that he put the paws on that boy. And I'm very interested to see how next week goes down. Now, if y'all remember last week's episode or last week's review, I told y'all about a video on Instagram that Gutta posted that I don't think is going to make it on the show. Because when Gutta posted it, he put it on his Instagram, and it was a video that Gutta made on his iPhone. And I didn't see any cameras around, so I don't think this was actually filmed. I think they were all at the house one day and Gutta filmed this. And he was like on a balcony, or somebody filmed it. And Jonathan has a foldable metal chair. Y'all know those foldable metal chairs. And Jonathan literally hits Rio with that chair 3 times. 1 in the back, 1 in the head, and 1 in the hand. Y'all know them metal chairs have got to fucking hurt. I was like, ooh. So I don't know if they're going to show this or not. But if you haven't seen it, maybe it's somewhere out there online, on YouTube, on Instagram. I don't know. But if it's one thing that we have learned, is do not fuck with Jonathan. Do not fuck with Jonathan. I'm so excited for next week's episode, but I want to hear from you. What did you think about this episode? Did you think that their party was lit, or was it dry as fuck? Also, whose side are you on, Anthony or Williams? Do you feel like William was justified in charging after Anthony like that? Do you? Also, whose side are you on between Jonathan and then Milan and Rio? Do you think Rio deserved to get his ass kicked the way he did? And do you think that Jonathan deserved the bedroom that he wanted of Milan's? I want to hear from you. Let me know your opinions, your thoughts. Comment below, and I will get back with you. Join the conversation. I love talking to you guys about these different episodes. Also, don't forget to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers or subscribers so I can get monetized. The viewers are here because my views are going up and up and up. I just need the subscribers. So please subscribe, tell a friend, share the video. I love you guys so much for watching. You know I'll be back with more reviews, and we'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. See ya.